So all the props that you need for today's class is your mat, a chair, possibly a chair that doesn't have the arms, that has support on the back, and two blocks. So take your seat. Let's arrive into this place. You have your shoulders away from your ears. You have a tall spine. And let's connect to our breaths. I'm going to take a deep breath in, filling up the chest, the belly, and a full breath out, releasing, empty out. Allow your navel to travel back, finding space for your next breath. And continue connecting to this deep, long breath. Let's take one more. Deep inhalations and full exhalations. Scanning the physical body for sensations. See what you're feeling today. Maybe where you find tightness, use the exhalation to soften, to release. We usually come to yoga for physical reasons. Maybe there's a movement, a stretch we're looking for today. But maybe there's something else, something that your heart wants to connect with. A quality you wanted to bring in your practice, take it with you in your life. So holding that quality, your heart intention can be just awareness, kindness, gratitude, joy. Take one more. Deep inhalation. Full exhalation. And once you open your eyes, see if you can gaze towards your chest. So dropping the chin down. Feel the energy behind your neck. Take one more breath, releasing the energy all the way down to your spine, through your shoulders. Take another deep breath in. Guide your ear to your shoulder. Doesn't matter which side. We're going to switch side to side. We need to find a gentle pace. Use the exhales to switch, to bring that chin down. And inhalations when you find ear to shoulder. Again, just a couple more repetitions. Gentle movement. Connecting. Anything that is happening in our cervical spine. Just noticing. Let's take one more breath. Come back to center. Chin down, resting one more time. And as you inhale, open the eyes. We're going to grab our blocks today. One of them. And bring that block in between your legs. So you're going to press and squeeze that block in between your knees, in between your thighs, and create a little more engagement. You're going to feel a little more awareness of your core and your pelvic floor. I'm going to switch my chair into the side so you guys can see me. See that at the spine, we're trying to keep the spine long, have a deep and long stability here. Deep inhale, squeezing the block in, and full exhales. Let's take another deep breath in, fill up the chest, the belly, feel the squeeze in between your legs, engaging into those inner thighs. Basically, a part of the body that we use a lot for several postures, including standing position, balancing positions. And as your exhale, I want you to start to lean forward. Move your chest forward, be the lead of this movement. Drop your lower belly down, still squeezing that block. Inhale to lift yourself up into the seat again. And exhale to move your body forward. Keep squeezing that block. Connection to what's happening in your inner thighs and core. Full inhalations to rise. Long breath out to release and come down. Beautiful. This time we're going to lift and stay here. Pause for a full spine and stretch your arms backward. So maybe touching partially in your chair. It can be on the seat of your chair or on the back of your chair on the sides if they have. And let's take a deep inhale to lift the chest a little more. Stretch the arms, maybe heart forward, lifting the gaze if that's available for us. Full inhalation, long exhales. And stay in this position, just gazing forward. So establish your gaze. And we're going to lift one foot off the ground. So stretching that leg, we're still squeezing the block in between the legs and dropping the heel down. Other side, inhale to stretch one leg forward and exhale to bring it down. Let's take two more on each side. So deep inhalations. When you lift, you kick your heel forward and exhales to drop. And I want you to find a pace that is comfortable for your body. You're going to feel a little more resistance and maybe a little more engagement on your quads. Noticing the core warming up the body as you bring more awareness to that engagement. And exhales, bring all both feet down. Let's rest here for a moment. Slide your hands back to your thighs and just lean forward. We did this before, folding. Releasing that connection to your core. And as your exhale, come up. Beautiful. Take a full exhalation here. Another inhale. We're going to try to stretch the arms back once again, but this time I want you to lean back a little bit. Yes. So you feel like basically almost touching the back of your seat. And you're going to release both feet, if possible, off the ground. So really holding into your chair, getting that connection. You can just hover the feet off the ground, or you can even stretch the legs in front. We're going to drop the feet down again, deep exhalations, and inhale to stretch and kick the heels forward. Beautiful. Drop the toes down or heels. Inhale to kick forward. Still squeezing that block in between your legs, so inner thighs are engaged. One more time. Full inhalation, kicking the heel, the feet forward, and exhale to drop down. Beautiful. Let's take that block in between the legs out. I'm going to adjust my chair so you can see me. This time, you're going to actually open your legs a little bit wider than your hips. So you have your feet on the ground still, knees wider than the width of your chair. And we may be having another block, high one, in the center in between your feet. Option to start sliding your hands first to your thighs, all the way to your knees almost, and leaning forward. So now you have more space to lean, maybe halfway, just gazing down towards that block. And as you inhale, bring yourself up again. Exhale to lean forward, lead with your heart, movement forward and down. And inhale to rise again. The next exhalation, we're going to slide the hands through the legs, shins, and maybe reach the hands to the block. Option to stay here and pressing into your block. It can be one or two. Option to step your hands all the way down to the floor. See how that feels. You're going to fold a little more, so feel your hip joints. Full breath out. Eventually, we can really fold completely, letting the head point down. Shoulders are a little bit heavier. Full exhalation. Take one more. Releasing completely. And as you inhale, pressing your hands now through your legs, using your core to come up. So maybe walking through your shins and thighs, or coming up just strong with your core. Deep inhales. Full exhales. Bring your hands behind your neck. Don't need to touch, but if you're touching, just not pressing. Elbows wide, open your chest. We're going to move sideways. So we're going to drop that elbow down and maybe gazing to the opposite way. So towards the ceiling, feel into the side body and back to center. So dropping the elbows as much as we can. And inhalation to come back to center. 2 more times. Full bend into the side body. And coming back to center. Strong exhalation when you bend. And inhalation to come back to center. Beautiful. This time we're going to fold forward. So again, lead with your heart. Start to move your body forward. We're not dropping the hands. We keep it that way. Press your feet on the ground. Feel the engagement on your core and thighs. And lift yourself up again. So we're going just halfway there. A lot of heat increasing here in your body. So you're going to feel that energy dropping halfway. And inhale to rise again. Beautiful. Let's do one more. Deep inhales and full exhales. All right, this time we rising, releasing the hands back to your thighs. So you feel that tension on your shoulders coming off. And then sliding the hands down, finding that block again for full forward fold. Maybe reaching hands to block first. Block can be high, can be low, or hands can touch the ground. Checking in with your practice, see what is available. Take another deep breath in, full breath out. And the next time you inhale, we're going to come up. So option to walk your hands through your thighs. Bring yourself up slowly. Bring your legs back to center. And this time I want you to step into those blocks. So I'm using just one on the lower side, but you can also choose to step in both blocks in a high position. So either way is fine. We're not touching completely the whole sole, so it's just the ball of my feet touching the blocks, and the heels are slightly out of the blocks. So I have my knees bent. I'm gonna switch again so you guys can see me on the side. So let's take a moment here just to establish that position. You don't need to be prepping yourself on the back of your chair, but you have your knees a little bit higher than your hips. Beautiful. You're gonna take a moment to move your arms or extend your arms forward. And take a moment to just lean back a little bit. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm not quite touching the support of my chair, but I'm a little bit on the angle. Deep inhales, full exhales. First, press your toes into those blocks and lift your heels a little bit. Exhalation, drop the heels, resting the feet, and inhale to lift the heels again. We're holding the position, so maybe feeling your shoulders. Exhalation to lower. This time, we're going to keep both feet pressing into those blocks. Yes, maybe a little walking the feet a little bit forward to have more grip of those blocks. And then one leg stretching forward. Kicking the heel forward and bending back to your block. Other side. Kicking the heel, stretching the leg, and bring it back. Let's do one more time on each side. Deep inhales when you kick, stretch your leg, and back to that block. One more. Deep inhalation and full exhalation. Rest your hands on your thighs and step your feet out of those blocks. So again, long stance here. We have the knees wider than the hips, feet wide, heels in, toes out. Folding forward, maybe reaching those hands for your blocks, maybe reaching the hands to the floor. Take a moment. Full breath out. We're taking one more breath here. Full exhalation. And then walk yourself up again. Bring it with your core, walk your hands through your thighs, step your feet back to those blocks. So knees are higher than your hips. You can see the angle. And this time I want you to bring your hands to your heart. Yes, elbows wide. Keep that connection between the palms, engaging your core again. We're moving to one side, gazing to the side. So you're twisting the upper body. Bring your hands with you. And back to center. Twisting to the other side. Your elbow almost touch the back of your chair. Or maybe reach into that connection and come back to center. Exhalation when you twist. And inhale to come back to center. Twisting the body. And back to center as you inhale. One more time. Exhale when you twist. And back to center to release. So coming out, maybe holding to your chair, step out of your blocks. We're not going to use the blocks now. I'm going to face you again so you can see me. Take a deep breath in. Feed your feet a little bit closer to each other, hip width apart. We're going to take a moment to actually connect a little more with our hips. Even though core is the theme of this class, we also have a lot of awareness when we engage the core about other parts of the body, including lower back, hips. So let's take a moment. You're going to lift one foot off the ground. Take a moment to feel that engagement in your quad. You're also engaging in your core. And then reaching for that foot and knee for a crossing position. We call this figure four position. The first option is to have this angle on this crossing position in your leg. Second option, if the foot doesn't come to the other leg, you're going to plant that foot, the side of your foot, into a tall block right next to the other one. So the angle is very similar. Your knee is still pointing to the side. You're just not bringing the foot all the way high. Either way, position, it's okay. Hands on your thighs. You're going to bring that chest forward. So awareness of that hip joint, a little stretch for the glutes, for the hamstring. You're leaning yourself forward. And inhale to come back up. All right, we're going to do a couple repetitions. I'm doing the next one with the full crossing. So you can see the difference. Moving forward as you inhale. And exhale to come up. Ooh, I think I messed up the breath. Inhalation. And exhalation to fold. One more. Deep breath in, coming up. And exhale to fold. The next time you inhale to rise, I'm going to take those blocks out of the way so you can see me. We're going to cross the legs. So you're going to stack your knees a little more, just exactly the same way you usually sit on a cross leg position. I want you to hold that knee with your opposite hand and stretch your arm all the way to the back. Yes, I'm going to do the same thing with the props. So instead of crossing, stacking the knees, you're going to use the same block on the other side of your foot. And crossing is just your leg in front of your shin. So very similar. You're going to hold that hand opposite to your knee and stretch the back arm all the way. I'm going to do the same thing now with the chair and the twisted position so you can see me from the side. All right. We're crossing the legs, either with the block or not, holding the knee with the opposite hand and twisting. So you stretch one arm all the way back and rest that arm on your chair. And you pay attention what's happening on your shoulders. Try to relax them away from your ears. Full breath out. Feeling a little more opening on a side body. Those transversals, those muscles we worked today on the side in your core. And as your exhale, come back to center. This time, I want you to stretch your top leg all the way down to the floor. So heel touches the floor. Lean your body forward, hinge from your hips, and start to slide your hand, maybe to touch your shin, maybe to reach for your toes, maybe the body completely folds down. Full exhalation. All right, inhale to rise again. We're bending both knees. We're switching. So opposite knee bends. We bring that foot into a crossing position. Yes, option to use a block. Deep exhalations, folding towards your leg. Feel the hip opening. Inhale to bring back again. Couple more repetitions. You can keep doing that. If the body is feeling a little tight and you want it to stay just with the leg cross without folding, that's also available for you. Let's take one more. Exhalations when you fold, and inhalations when you bring yourself upright. Crossing this time. We did this before on the other side, so legs are crossed now. You have the knee stacking where you're using that block for support. Hold that knee with your opposite hand and peel the arm all the way back. Full inhales. Feel into that opening. Long exhales. Feel the sensation of twist, not just in your mid-spine, but also into that gluteus medius that wraps around your hip. And as you exhale, you're going to unfold and drop the top leg in front of you. So heel comes down. You hinge from your hips, reaching for that shin or toes, letting your head and shoulders come down. Full breath out. Inhale to rise. Let's take a moment to come up into a seat. Establish your connection with your feet, sitting a little more backwards on your chair. So you're taking up a little more space of your chair this time. Ground your heels, ground your toes. Take a moment. We're going to bring the hands to the heart and start to lean forward. So you drop your lower belly towards your thighs, bring your chest forward, and start to move your weight towards your feet. So you're going to lean forward and the hips stay back, heels under your knees, and you're just going to lift your bump off the chair to start lifting yourself strong all the way to standing. Yes, I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite way so you can see me from the side. So all the way around, we're coming down to the chair. Again, bending the knees to hinge forward. So you move your hips back. Your weight is all the way to your heels. And then finally, you find your chair to sit. Again, repeating this one more time. Press into your feet, move your body forward, drop the lower belly first. Heels under your knees, lifting the bump up off the chair and coming up to standing. Beautiful. Let's bring it to a full standing position, Tadasana. Just stay on your feet, open your arms, take a deep breath in. And full breath out. All right, we're going to take a movement now in standing position. So I want you to step to your mat and keep your chair in front of you. So the top of your chair is facing you. Yes. And it's right on top of your mat. You still have your blocks next to you for options here. And you have a lot of space for standing position behind you on your mat. So first, with the hands on your chair, you're basically 1 foot or 2 feet away from the chair as long as you can touch the top. Take a deep breath in, bring your arms, circle them up all the way. And exhalation, bring your hands back to your heart. Let's do one more. Deep inhale, circling them up. Feel the extension of your full body. And exhale, touch your chair. We're going to step away from the chair. So big step all the way back. This is our down dog and standing position with the chair. You're going to stretch your arms, stretch your spine, press your hips all the way back away from the chair and press the chair away from you. Option to bend or extend your legs, depending how you feel. You're going to notice your spine rounding. Maybe the knees bend feels a little better for us. Maybe you feel that tension in your hamstrings, and that's why we're starting with the bent knees if we need it. Take one more. Deep inhale. Full exhales. Next time you inhale, step your right foot forward. Take a big step. Come closer to your chair. One knee bend, back leg straight. You stay on the ball of the back foot. Let's find some balance and core here. So activating those inner thighs that we worked today. Yeah, so squeezing in, press your feet down, connecting to those muscles, and maybe option to stay with your hand on your chair or stretch your arms forward. Balancing is always training position. So take a pause here, deep inhale. Option to stretch your arms overhead or stay with one hand down, one arm up. All right, deep inhales, one more, and full exhales. And as you exhale this time, either touching both hands first into your chair, you're going to hold only the left hand there and peel the right arm all the way back for a twist. So micro bending a little more the back leg. Feel into that opening, very similar what we did into a seated position. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Come back to center, touching your chair. Now you're going to 45-degree angle the back foot, stretch both legs, and start to hinge forward. Bend your elbows, maybe come to your forearms to touch the top of your chair to stretch here into pyramid pose. Option number one, stay here to the top. Option number two, you're going to stretch and step your hands down to the seat of your chair. So you're going to get a little bit lower and feel a little more into that stretch. Deep inhales. Full exhales. Next time you inhale, bend the front knee. Walk your hands to the top of your chair and step yourself forward. So big step to come forward, close to your chair, shake it out, maybe pedaling the heels down, bending one knee at a time. And let's find the other side. Tadasana, mountain pose. Press your feet, ground yourself, let the energy rise through your legs, open the chest. Inhale, arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart, touch your chair. Step your feet all the way back. Both of them, so you have your down dog again. Stretch your arms, stretch your spine. We wanted to have a very good distance here, maybe more than 3 feet away from the chair, so you can really lengthen the spine, the arms, and find a little more extension in your legs too over time. So again, checking in with your hamstrings. If the knees need to bend a little bit, softening those joints, that's okay. Let's take a deep breath in and step the left foot forward this time. Repeating the other side, bend the front knee, stay on the ball of the back foot. Deep inhales. Full exhales. Grounding ourselves, connecting to the core, maybe lifting the hands off the chair. Stretching forward is your number one, or maybe keeping one hand down and lifting the arms up overhead. Take a deep breath in. Finding that core stability. And full breath out. We're going to lower down the hands slowly. And right hand's going to touch the chair. Left arm stretches all the way back for a twist. So you're gazing to your left side, dropping the shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Come back. Hands to your chair. You're going to drop the back heel down. Stretch both legs. Extension here. The back foot is 45-degree angle, and you're going to be able to hinge forward from your hips. So bending your elbows, moving yourself down. Top of the chair is your number one option. Resting here, maybe chin, maybe forearms. Or number two option to touch the chair on the seat. So see which one feels good in your body. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Feeling a little more stretch on this front leg. Letting the body release. And as you take another deep breath in, start to bend the front knee. Walk your hands to the top. Flipping to the ball of the back foot. You're stepping forward when you're ready. So come close to your chair. Shake it out. Walk in place, bending knees. See the sensation that arises after movement. And find your Tadasana again. We're going to switch the chair now to face us. So bring the seat towards you. So lower side of your chair, you're going to be facing now. And I want you to have at least 2 feet away distance from the chair. So step yourself back just a little bit and start to hinge from your hips. Yes, reaching the hands towards the seat of your chair. You're going to come into a tabletop position. Your shoulders are on top of your wrists. So take a moment, press your fingertips on your chair too, not just your wrists, so you're supporting those joints. Take a deep breath in, start to bend your knees and move the hips back. We're going to sit towards another chair. So this is our chair pose. So you lift your gaze, but I want you to arch your spine a little more, shoulders back. So it's more towards cow pose in a chair. And as you exhale, move your weight forward again. So shoulders on top of your hands. Drop your head, round your spine, and press the chair away from you. So we're going to continue repeating this flow. This is our cat and cow. So cow pose, you arch your spine, you gaze forward. Yes, move your weight all the way back, bending your knees. And exhalation for cat, you're moving your body forward. Press your chair away from you, finding space between your shoulder blades. Again, inhale for cow, lift the gaze, move your weight back. And exhalation to round, finding more space on your upper body. Beautiful. Come back to center. And let's walk the right foot back. So find a little bit of extension of that leg all the way back, but you're not moving your weight to that foot. Your supporting weight is your left foot. Take a deep breath in, option to stay down, option to kick that leg high, whatever height it feels comfortable for you. Maybe eventually it comes 90 degrees with your spine. And exhalation, bend both knees and bring that back leg all the way closer to you, knee to your chest. Inhale, kick the leg all the way back. And exhalation, bending and bring that knee to a hug. Again, inhale, kick it back. And exhalation to bend and crunch. This time we're going to kick the leg, stay tall, optional. Maybe stretching the left arm forward. The arm can be right here, standing on top of the chair, the support. Or maybe you're holding just with your core. So take a deep breath in, gazing down to your seat. And as you exhale, step the feet down, step the hands down. Let's do our cat and cows again. Sit back, release the tension on your wrists. You can even move your wrists a little bit as you stay in this position. And as you exhale, move yourself forward, rounding your spine. Press the chair away from you. Again, sit back into your chair pose or cow pose, arching. Yes, maybe movement on your wrists, opening and closing. And exhale to round. Come back to a flat spine. Step the left foot back, full extension of that leg. We can start this way. Eventually, we can lift the leg up high and exhale, knee to your chest. Round your spine to bring that knee in. Inhale, kick it back. And exhale, bring it back to you. Beautiful. Two more. Deep inhalations when you extend. And exhalation to crunching in. Next time you extend your legs, press into your hands. Maybe walk your hands more to the center of your chair, your seat. An option to extend your right arm forward. Deep inhalation. Full exhalation. Stopping for balance. Balance is almost straining. Straining, always bring that core engagement. So take one more. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Let's drop the legs, drop the hands, and sit back towards that cow pose. So arching the spine, move back, option to move a little bit your wrists. Maybe one at a time so you still have the support of your chair. And as you exhale, round your spine, press the chair away from you. All right, so let's move towards that chair position. So difference between chair and cow position is the arching part. So in chair position, you're engaging your core, your spine is a little more straight, and maybe eventually you can bring your hands to your heart. You're gonna rise strong all the way up to standing. Ooh. Release your arms, shoulders away from your ears. Find your standing position. Pausing here. Deep inhale. Full exhales. All right, let's take a break from standing position. We're gonna come down. This is optional if you wanna come down, or you can do some of the stretches seated on your chair. To come down, my favorite way to transition down to your mat is coming to proposal. So you're gonna drop one knee down, same hand on the same side, comes down first. And then you flip that back foot out to the side so you can actually sit on your first glute down. And then bring your legs in front of you. There are other ways for you to come down to your mat. I want you to find one that is safe, that you can come down very slowly, and finding a comfortable way to be on the seated position. Once you're here, partially your feet can be under your chair. We're still going to use the chair as support for us. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. One more. Deep inhalation. And full exhalation. I'm going to hug the right knee to the chest. So bring it to a bend, hugging in a little closer. Yes, hold this knee with your opposite hand. We did this movement very similar when we seated on a chair. So you're going to stretch and bring your right hand behind you on the mat or right next to your hip so you can twist a little more to the right side. Take a moment to notice if all the weight of your body was transferred now to your right hand. We don't want that to happen. You want it to keep the connection with your sit bones right here in the center of your body. So the back hand is just a support. Take one more. Deep inhale. Full exhales. And then bring yourself back to center. This time you're going to drop that knee that was hugging to the side. So you have a half butterfly position. Your knees to the side. That right foot touches your opposite leg. I'm going to show from the front so you can see what that means. So it's a half butterfly position. One leg straight, one leg bent. And we're still using our chair close by. So number one option, you're going to start reaching your hands to the floor, walking yourself forward. So just letting the lower belly drop, move your chest first. You can use the chair, the seat of your chair, to support your forehead. Maybe having a little pillow or a blanket here to support if this is too hard, if it's a hard surface. My chair has a little bit of a cushion, so it's supporting nicely my forehead. Let's take a moment here to just let the shoulders come down. You can also hold your hands in a chair if that feels safer and more comfortable. You can have your forearms support your head, another way to do it. Maybe for those who don't need or don't want to use the chair for support, you can try to just reach your toes or keep your hands on the floor. Let's take one more deep inhales. I want you to pay more attention to the extension of your spine forward than actually the rounding and dropping of the spine down. One more deep inhale. Full breath out. And then you're coming back. So walk your hands back, lift yourself high. We're going to do the other side. So same thing, twist first. So stretch both legs. Take a moment. I'm adjusting my chair. So take a moment to reconnect to your sit bones. We're going to hug the left knee. Bring that knee close to you. Yes, hold that knee with your right hand. And then bring your left hand behind you on the floor. You're finding that twist. Maybe just not moving all the weight of your body into that hand to be more in the center. Deep inhales. Full breath out. And then come back to center. So gently unwinding. That knee is going to fall down. I'm going to show you from the front what it looks like. It's a half butterfly. So knee bent, foot touches your opposite leg. And we still have partially our foot or maybe shin under the chair. We're going to fold forward, same thing we did it before. We call this Janushashasana, Sanskrit. So maybe the chair is supporting the forehead. Maybe you're pulling the chair closer to you. Maybe you're reaching your hands to the ground or even reaching your hands to your feet or toes. Deep inhales. Feel the length and extension of your lower back. Full exhales. Letting the lower belly drop first. And noticing that hip opening, outer rotation of your hip joint on that left side. One more. Deep inhales. And full exhales. Gently, slowly walk yourself back. So press your hands on the floor. This time I want you to walk your hands behind you. You're going to step your feet outside of the chair and a little bit wider the feet from each other. Knees bend. We're moving the legs side to side. So we're trying to drop the knees down if possible. That's a very gentle way to bring mobility to your hips with the inner rotation of your hips. So see if that's available for us. The knee that drops in into the floor, that's the one most important for us to do, the movement. One more. Deep inhales. Full exhales. And then bring yourself back to center. So your feet are back under the chair. You'll have your knees bent. You're going to bring one of your blocks. We did this before on the chair. You're going to squeeze that block in between your knees. And maybe arms by your side or hands holding behind your thighs. So squeezing the block, holding your position for both toes. This is always a position that we have very strong feelings about it. So take a moment to notice. Deep inhalation, squeezing in that block, feel into your core. And full exhales. Slowly, we're going to come down. So make sure you have space behind you. I'm lowering myself down to the mat and bringing my block to be taken out. So take that block out of the way, but keep it close to you. You can hug your knees or maybe feet on the ground to move the legs side to side. Relaxing the spine on the ground. Same movement we did it before in the seated posture. You're going to feel a lot more release in this variation on the spine. Just feeling opening, relaxation, and a little massage on your glutes too. So let's bring the knees back to center. You're still bending the knees and you have your block close by. So we need to grab that block again, plant once more in between your knees, squeezing that block in, engaging into your pelvic floor, and full breath out. Let's take one more. Deep inhale, squeezing the block, breathing completely, fully. And long exhalations, lengthening the breath. The next time you inhale, make sure your hands are down next to your body. We're going to walk your heels a little bit closer to your glutes. So heels and knees are in alignment, preferably. You're going to start pressing into your heels and lift your hips off the ground for bridge pose. Exhalation, lower the hips down. We're still squeezing that block. Inhale to lift the hips high. Doesn't need to be super high, but just enough so you hover the floor. Feel the sensation of tilting your pelvis. And exhale down. Let's do a couple more. Deep inhales, lifting. And exhale down. Keep pressing your shoulders on the ground so you have that extra support. Lifting yourself, squeeze on your glutes, squeeze on your block, and exhale to the mat. This time, we're going to take a pause from bridge, but you're going to stay in the same position. So readjust if you need. We're going to now start to engage into the lower belly a little more. Squeeze into that block, lift your feet off the ground, and stretch your legs all the way up to the ceiling. Yes, you still have your block. Exhalation to lower down. Maybe touching the toes on the ground or maybe hovering the feet and not touching. Inhale, lift those legs all the way up again. Activation of your core. Kick the heels up. And exhalation, maybe to touch or hover the toes on the ground. Inhale, bring it up. Repetition. And exhalation down. One more. Deep inhale, firing up that core. And exhales to bring it down. All right, this time we're going to drop down completely. Press into your heels, press into your core too. Squeezing that glute. And as you take another deep inhalation, full exhalation, releasing any tension, any engagement for a moment. One more deep inhale, full breath out. Want you to take that block out of your legs. We're going to bring it under the sacrum. So you're going to lift your hips off the ground, slide your block under the glutes, way more towards that area than your lower back. And then sit yourself on top of that prop. Arms are still by your side. You're connecting a little more towards that block. So releasing the lower back. Option to stay here for a moment. And as you take another inhale, we're going to stretch the legs all the way up to the ceiling. So same movement we did it before. With elevation of your hips, you create a little different engagement here. So dropping the legs down once again, same position we did it before, maybe hovering the feet or toes to the ground. You're going to feel your lower belly a little more. Inhale to lift all the way up, waterfall position, and exhalation, bending to drop or hover the ground. Let's take a few more deep inhales, stretching the legs up, and exhalation to bring them down. One more deep inhales, waterfall position, bring it to extension in your legs. And exhale to bring it down. This time, touch your feet on the ground. don't take that block out of your spine. We're going to actually find two options here. Number one, you're going to keep the knees bent exactly like this for resting for a couple breaths. Number two option, you're going to stretch your feet forward. So walk your feet to the very bottom of your mat, under your chair even. And you're stretching the legs down, heels on the ground. Letting the body open all the way. So feel the extension of your abdominals. Option to stay here just for one more breath. If it doesn't feel right and you need to bend your knees again, totally fine. So take a moment to choose between those two options. Checking in what the body needs today. Your physical intention, your heart intention. And full breath out. Using the exhales to soften where you see tension. One more deep inhale. And full breath out. Before we come out of the block, see if it's still available. An option here for you to extend your arms overhead. Letting the heart open, feeling a little more space for your breath. Just one last inhalation. And as you exhale, bring your arms down. Start to bend your knees, so walk your feet back. Yes, when you're ready, you're going to take that block out of your spine. So press into your heels, lift your hips out of that prop, sliding it out and resting down. So moving legs side to side, massaging the lower back, inner rotation of your hips. So checking in with your joints there. Deep inhales. That stretch is really good for whenever you engage in your core to really stretch those abdominals. And also release of your lower back, which a lot of movements that we do for engagement of core, we are affecting and stressing a little bit the lower back. All right, come back to center. And this time, I want you to start bringing your chair a little bit closer to us. So maybe stepping just the arches of the feet on top of your chair. So you have a 90-degree angle for your feet, or for your knee and shin. Yes, take a moment to just feel here. And this is number one option. Number two, you're going to stretch one leg a little more towards the top of your chair and step your right foot on top of that left thigh. Yes, figure four. Once you did that connection, you can step that other foot again, arch of your left foot against the chair. So you're bringing your legs a little bit closer to you. Take a moment to feel into the stretch. You should be affecting and lengthening a little more that. Releasing the glute, hamstring, maybe opening a little more that hip joint. Deep inhale. Some of us might like this as an option. Some of us might like to bring the legs even closer to your chest. So you're going to be putting more effort into this one if you're actually using your hands to bring your legs close to you. And as your exhale, we're going to release from this shape, but just dropping that left foot that is touching the chair all the way down to the ground. And let's drop the legs to the left side of the mat. So you're opening your arms wide, letting the legs drop to that side and finding a twist. If the knees or the legs don't want it to be crossed in that position, you're going to adjust into stacking the knees instead. Either way is fine. I just wanted you to rest your legs to one direction. And take a moment to check in with your right shoulder. Right shoulder still on the ground. Making sure that's your anchor point, making sure you're safe. So it grounds you, allows you to know if you're twisting too much. Take one more deep inhale. And full breath out. And then come back to center. Knees bend. Your chair should be very close to you. So again, we're going to step the arches of the feet into the chair. So you have 90-degree angle on your spine, on your heel and knees. Yes, so option here to stretch your right leg a little more towards the top of your chair and then step your left foot on top of your right thigh. Prepping for that figure four, of course, you can stay here on this variation or walk that foot, again, the arch, to the edge of your chair so the legs are a little bit closer to you. Deep inhales, full exhales. For those who like to bring the legs to you, you're gonna actually hold into your foot, shin, or knee, and just bring the legs closer to your chest. One more breath, deep inhalation, and full exhalation. And then gently, we're gonna unwind. So basically, just first drop the right foot down to the mat. Keep the shape of your legs. Open the arms wide. And let your both legs fall to the right side of your mat. If crossing the legs doesn't feel right, you're gonna just stack the knees instead. So either way is fine, as long as the upper body is grounding you. So check with your left shoulder. See how that feels for you. It's still down on the mat, that means you're not twisting too much. Another way to bring a little more exploration to your practice is to press your right hand towards that left knee. Bring a little bit closer to the floor if you want it to feel different, or just bring a little more awareness to your lower back, maybe sciatic extension. Full breath out. Again, the anchor point of this shape is your left shoulder on this side, so keep that on the floor the whole time. Grounding you. One more. Deep inhale. Full exhales. And the next time you inhale, come back to center. Since now your chair is really close to us, this is almost ready for us to use in our resting position. So before we rest, maybe there's another movement you wanted to approach. It can be just a hug into your knees and moving side to side. Maybe happy baby, which is just legs all the way up pointing to the ceiling. Knees are a little wider. You can hold your thighs or your hands behind your thighs, or you reach the hands towards the soles of your feet. Yes, so either way is fine. You can also hold your fingers in your toes, your big toes. See if that feels better. Any variation of happy baby, it's okay. Even a hug to your knees, also okay. And to rest completely into our very last position, I'm going to start pulling that chair a little bit closer to you. So you can have your full calf muscles on top of your chair. So the chair should be close enough so you can have sort of a 90-degree angle between your hips and your knees. So make sure that chair is very close, so supports your muscles, your legs, your feet. Some of us will have different size here in our legs, so you might have to adjust differently. You can also use, instead of your chair, use a different prop under your knees if you want it to be extended on the floor. Arms by your side, palms facing up to receive. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Let yourself rest here completely. See if you can point your chin towards your chest. So opening up the back of your cervical spine. And just allowing yourself to come to stillness. Releasing any control of your breath. allowing to flow naturally from now on. And if the mind starts to wander, going back to the past, planning the future, just bring a gentle awareness back to that breath. The rise and fall of your chest, your belly, expansion, contraction of your organs, the temperature of the air in and out of your nostrils. Slowly start to bring yourself back to some movement. Bring awareness to your physical body, fingers and toes, maybe arms overhead or to the side. Take a deep breath in. And once your body is ready for movement, maybe taking the chair a little bit farther away from you and rolling into your favorite side. Take a moment, maybe using some of your props to support your head. Maybe take another deep inhalation. Bring yourself slowly to a seat. Finding a long spine. You can also sit on your chair if that's more comfortable than the floor. Acknowledging the teachers before us who brought us this practice. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, send that gratitude to yourself, your time, your awareness, your stability, your breath. Let go what doesn't serve you anymore, the tightness, the stress, the self-doubt, the fears, and take it with you. That heart intention, what you're holding with your practice today. Awareness, kindness, compassion, joy. May we be able to touch hearts and minds with our practice. Thank you so much for being here today. I see and honor the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for watching. I see you next time.